Well, we begin in Kano, where thousands of supporters lined the street of Kano City to welcome the presidential candidate of the APC who promised to develop Kano from a commercial state to a mega city if elected president of Nigeria. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu made this known in Kano during the mega rally to kickstart the Northwest campaign. Ola Awakon reports.
A new year and time to roll the sleeves for more work. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu arrived in Kano nights ago for the mega rally and quickly began consultations with critical stakeholders.
We've started since morning.
The support from residents of the state is obvious across the streets and major roads. He visited the Emir of Kano and ascribed the courtesy call to his respect for traditional institutions in the country.
Talking about promises of development, industrialization, to change Kano from a commercial city to a mega city.
Then the D-Day. All major roads leading in and out of Kano City was on lockdown as the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's convoy moved from the government house to Sani Abacha Stadium. Alongside the national chairman of the party, his running mates and other party chieftains, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu waves at the thousands of supporters who throng streets to show solidarity. A journey that originally takes not more than 15 minutes from the government house to the Sani Abacha Stadium took more than 2 hours for the convoy to make its way into the venue. As the campaign truck entered the venue in a grand style, the sea of heads was visible. The crowd from the stands and the pitch cheered and danced as it moved gingerly.
God will give you America. I will give your family peace and harmony. I will serve you. Serve Nigeria. I care for a promise. Always.
This support from Kano to kickstart the Northwest campaign is described as a good way to begin the year for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, and it is expected that the momentum is maintained ahead of the elections next month. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Kano.
Well, welcome back. And joining me now in the studio to discuss this, I have politician and a member of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Kalajaye Paul. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, viewers.
Right. I'm sure you saw what played down there in Kano. Are you surprised to see such crowd gathered for Ahmed Bola Tinubu?
Well, I'm not surprised, and of course, nobody should be surprised. What we saw in Kano is a play of some scenarios, which we must understand. One, for the governor of the state, Ganduje, is a test of carryability, is a test of capability. It's a test of the lordship, the warlordship of Kano. Don't forget, the power play in Kano has been quite interesting in the last few years. The Kwankwasoa movement, the Ganduje, and all of this have been one empire that has been divisible into some other variables. And today, there is a contest between the power warlords in Kano. So what we saw there in Kano is a testimony to show that Ganduje is still in control. So for him, he has to do so much to convince Nigerians and convince Bola Ahmed Tinubu that indeed all the promises he has given him will come to fruition. And for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's also a show of acceptability of the candidature of our own candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who of course has also been there even for them in the north. Don't forget, in Gwandijo's election, even for a return to become governor of that state, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there. What is playing out for Bola Ahmed Tinubu today is a payback time. People are trying to pay him back for all he has done, whether knowingly or unknowingly that he was going to even aspire to be president of this country. He has always shown love. He has always shown dedication, sincerity, commitment to party affiliations and party activities. So he has been somebody who has pursued party agenda with all sincerity. So for everybody, and of course, a third factor we must also look at is the fact that, contrary to speculations of some people to say, oh, don't worry, the Northerners, they are deceiving Asiwaju, they won't vote for him. It's going to be a not thing. They will still give it to their own son. Look, the Northerners are the richest in terms of political sagacity, in terms of political culture, in terms of the understanding of the polity of Nigerian. And they are the people who understand politics more than all other regions. I must say this. They understand that Nigeria is one country, and that for Nigeria to remain indivisible as a country, they need to also allow other regions to play their role. And so they are not those selfish politicians that people think. So it's a demonstration that the sincerity of the Northerners to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is undoubted.
Of course, I agree with you with the fact that the Northerners, talking of Kano, Katsina, and Kaduna, for their enormous vote from the previous election. But how will you assess the Bola Tinubu's chances against these formidable opponents?
It's obvious. The morning shows the day. You saw what happened. What happened in Kano is a siege. It's monumental. It's fantastic. It's unprecedented. We've never seen, even during Buhari's campaign, we saw something similar. But what we are seeing today is also greater. It also shows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's chances in Kano and in the entire Northwest is going to be very, very good. We're going to have so much votes from the North, particularly from Kano and the Northwest, and that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will sail to victory. It's obvious, it's clear to all of us that amongst all the other candidates, he's the only one that has been doing campaign. Cannot even see other candidates. They are not feasible. They say the man is sick, the man is physical, the man is showing his intellectual capability, the man is demonstrating vigor, he's demonstrating commitment, he's moving everywhere, he's doing stakeholders, he's working from morning till night, and yet you say, so Bola Ahmed Tinubu's chances, as far as I'm concerned, in the North, it's going to be very overwhelming.
Let's also talk about his promise to revamp the economy and create jobs. How would you assess his preparedness ahead of the tax?
The Yorubas will say that if somebody says he wants to give you a cloth, you first of all look at what he's wearing or what she is wearing. We are not assessing Bola Ahmed Tinubu from ground zero. We are assessing him from a performance which has been, demonstrated for 8 years in Lagos. It's a benchmark. You see, the promises of economic revival, of rejuvenating the economy, is something that is doable for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For you to fight poverty, you must create sufficiency. You must create enough. So what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Lagos, from a 600 million naira internally generated revenue without increasing tax, quote me, was to increase, and he left the place with over 6 billion naira. And that has been growing in leaps and bounds. So the way to fight poverty is to create abundance. What I'm sure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu would do is to create abundance. And in creating abundance is to first of all plug the loopholes. There are so many loopholes in this country, in the economy. There are so many loopholes. And then look at what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. He was the one that started the entire configuration of the internally generated revenue of Lagos State by ensuring that we brought in some kind of technology that will also ensure that people can have easier payment of taxes. You can access all of it. So for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I see him, one, plugging the loopholes. I see him expanding the economy by way of creating new avenues, new frontiers to bring in more money for the nation. And when you have all of these, we're all suffering because we cannot create abundance. Once abundance is created, out of abundance, there will be so many opportunities. For me, for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's not an empty promise.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution so far.